Well, Judy, the spring rains have returned. The flowers are blooming and the days are getting longer. It's your normal spring.
Ryan, there is nothing normal about this spring.
Yes, it is. Here's your weekly episode of Garden Time.
Welcome to Garden Time. As you can see, we are staying safe and distancing well, and we hope you are too. And you know, many of your local independent garden centers are open and have great plants and veggies. As we like to say, gardening is not canceled.
This week on the show, we take care of your indoor plants. We plant your late summer dahlias, but first, some more great spring color. Well, annuals are one of those plants that provide that huge splash of color all summer long. I'm with Diane from Waver Farms down in Salem. And Diane, what do you have for us today?
Well, I have an exciting new geranium from the Americana line. Americana has not come out with a new geranium in several years. So we have our rose ice here and our violet ice. So they bring out a little bit of that white texture. They almost look like they're painted.
It is, and the bloom size looks gigantic.
They are. They're fairly large geraniums. And so these ones, because they are the Americanas, they're going to go about 16 inches tall. So they're going to take up some nice space in the landscape or fill up a very large pot.
And then it looks like you have a little kufia there also, hiding right.
I sure do. This is one of our favorites. This is from Millionaire, and it is a great hummingbird magnet. This little plant is going to go full sun. And he is super easy, no deadheading required. Plant him in a nice sunny pot and watch those hummingbirds come.
Because they like that long tubular flower to get their beak into, don't they?
They sure do. So that's a great way to attract some hummingbirds to your yard this spring.
And then you have a little impatient sitting right there too, right?
I sure do. So this is one of my favorites. This is a sun impatient. And the fabulous thing about impatiens is they're usually for shade. But this little beauty will go full sun. It will also take a part day of shade. So if your front yard is kind of one of those sticky situations where you really want the same color throughout, you can pair this throughout your yard and it will do very well.
Excellent. And then you have a couple others down in there, it looks like, for some like bromeliads, those blue and white.
I do. I have some little bromeliads down here. And, you know, it's so hard to find some great color for shade if you don't want to do impatiens. So these little bromeliads, they are these great little star-shaped flowers. The white does get a little taller than the blue, so it's really easy to put the blue in front in your flower bed. And then if you decide that you want to pair it with like a great Coleus in the back, it gives you some nice color because this Coleus will take part shade. A lot of our Coleuses now will go sun or shade, but this one does like a little bit of shade in the afternoon.
And just that, you know, that huge, bold color, you know, really makes a statement in a planter.
It sure does. I mean, just a couple of things like that really makes a nice little planting.
Right. And then what's that little yellow blooming one behind you?
Oh, this little yellow guy hiding back here. He is one of our favorites as well. This is a little straw flower. This little straw flower is going to go about 16 inches tall. He does like a lot of water. It's one of those, I joke with people saying plant him by a hose because dry flower does not mean dry plant. He does get thirsty.
Right. And then it looks like you have one more choice of a Coleus there. The yellow one?
I do. This is a very fun chartreuse Coleus called River Walk. And the fascinating thing about this Coleus is it will go full sun or it will go full shade. So it's another one of those that can go pretty much anywhere in your yard.
Well, that's great. So you know, aside from all of the wonderful annuals that you have and the splash of color, you also do vegetables too, right?
We too. This year we went above and beyond to find as many vegetables as we could to help people with their victory gardens. So we have about 32 different varieties of tomatoes. We have lots of different peppers in different sizes. and lots of the garden veggies, the cold crop veggies, and pretty much everything.
And then what are your hours that you're offering now with all the corona going on?
So with the corona going on, we are open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6. Sundays, 11 to 4 as always. However, we are taking some additional steps. Every cart is bleached down with a sprayer with bleach water solution running through it. And all of the pin pads are bleached down. We are asking customers to keep their 6-foot social distancing. We are pretty much out here in the middle of nowhere. My nursery sits in the middle of a big, huge farm. So there's lots of space for social distancing. And it's a great way for people to get out, see some color, and enjoy the beauty of the outdoors.
Well, that's great. So if you want a great selection of your annual colors, your vegetables, and everything else, you can go to your website, or you can go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over. So, Diane, it's been a pleasure, and we'll see you in the garden.
Thank you so much.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
I've been a Capital Subaru customer for 15 years, and one of the main reasons is because they treat me well and I want to shop local. The service department is excellent, and I always feel like I'm taken care of here. In fact, they call me now even after I've driven off the lot to remind me to come in and get my car washed. That service. One of the reasons why I like coming to Capital Subaru, actually, they have the dog area, and I can just walk my dog around the whole area and we can enjoy the outside. I got it my way on the Parkway.
Find everything you need for spring at Al's Garden and Home.
The health and beauty of your garden starts from the ground up, and healthy soils begin at Grimm's Fuel. For the best in garden mulch, blended soils, and bark dust, choose Grimm's. U-Haul delivered or installed, Grimm's can do it. And if you're looking for a new lawn, Grimm's can do that too with our special lawn installation service. Grimm's is also the area's largest recycler of yard debris. The foundation for a healthy garden begins at Grimm's Fuel.
Look around your home's exterior. Those ugly orange, green, and black algae stains look terrible. Clean them the easy way with 30 Seconds Outdoor Cleaner. It's fast and works on all outdoor surfaces. With 30 seconds, it's clean when you want it clean.
Spring is all about freshness, and you can't get any fresher than Blooming Junction. From new and interesting annuals and perennials that can bring fresh color to your garden to the freshest of produce from our fields and from local growers. We can also help you be successful with our full slate of timely and helpful classes. Freshen up your home and garden, inside and out, with a visit to Blooming Junction. Blooming Junction, offering quality plants for beautiful gardens and great tasting food for your table.
I am in the tropical house at Terra Gardens with Tom from Bonide. And so, Tom, this is the time of year that we are loving our houseplants, but it's really a good idea to start looking at them because maybe something is going on with them that they're not growing at their best.
Oh yeah, going on is exactly right. Spring has sprung and we're not only going outside to enjoy the flowers and the fruits of all our work over the winter months, but the houseplants are kind of becoming revitalized, and you're getting new growth and new foliage, and we're having insect activity outside, but we're having insect activity inside as well as disease problems. We've got a whole host of products here from Bonide to help cure those problems.
I think that we love them and we should look at them, especially this time of year because it's been a long winter. And so really just monitoring them you can start stopping problems before they get too blown out.
Absolutely. There's cultural things that we can do for our houseplants, proper watering, thinning the foliage, deadheading the flowers, just the same thing you do outdoors. So there's some preventative measures, cultural things we can do, but then, you know, there's always times where we get busy. You know, we have kids, we have pets,
Sure.
and we all get busy, we forget to do things.
Right.
And then the problem starts.
Right.
And so here are 4 really good products to help get over that hurdle.
And let's talk about the Bonine, because this is one of your organic products. I see that it has like that beige shoulder on it.
Yeah, anything in the Bonide label, when you see the tan upper right corner, that means it's a natural active ingredient, and in most cases approved for organic gardening. And we'll call out on the front of the label when it is approved for organic gardening. Now these are all indoor products. My favorite of the 4 is the Bonine.
Okay.
This is 2 active ingredients. This is pyrethrin, which has come from dried chrysanthemum flowers, which makes for a really very effective natural insect control with quick knockdown action. And then the secondary active in here is sulfur, and sulfur will provide a broad spectrum disease control. And something that you may not know is sulfur is a very good spider mite control as well.
And that really, they attack houseplants, so it's good to be
horrible.
on that.
Yeah. So as you can see, whiteflies, aphids, spider mites, mealybugs, all of those common insects that just drive us crazy on the houseplants. And then with the sulfur in here, give you dual action, dual purpose of disease control.
Oh, perfect. And then I see you have an insecticidal soap, excuse me. And so what would we use this for?
Well, insecticidal soap is also just a very good indoor and outdoor bug control. Some will say it doesn't get any more organic than insecticidal soap. To be a little on the technical side, it's potassium salts of fatty acids. I think of it as a Band-Aid. It is a soap. It's simply going to just wash the insect off of the plant. Chances are they're going to come back. But if you're trying to be very environmental conscious and be, you know, a little softer to the environment, indoors or outdoors, including vegetables, you can't beat insecticidal soap.
Oh, perfect. And when you spray, do you spray just the top, or should you really get underneath too?
I like to do a complete coverage, and if you'd like me to demonstrate, you know, it's just a nice even mist onto the foliage, and it doesn't take a lot.
Okay.
So underneath and on top.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then what about a systemic? So this is a granular, dried product.
This is a granular product, systemic houseplant insect control. Systemic kind of says it all. It will translocate throughout the plant, so down to the roots, up through the top, and protect for approximately 8 months. I call this the lazy man's way of protecting houseplants.
Right.
Specifically for the sucking insects, it is simply a tablespoon of this as a top dress around the edge of the pot.
Oh, perfect. Water it in.
And then water it in, and you're done for 8 months.
Nice, nice. That's good ongoing protection.
Absolutely.
And then I see fertilizer. This is really the time to start fertilizing because they're going to get actively growing because we have more light.
More light is the key word there. So, you know, more light for our outdoor plants. We're seeing, you know, all the hostas, the perennials, the biennials come to life. Same thing's true with our houseplant. Nice green, lush foliage. African violets are starting to come back to life. And what these plants need is just a soft approach of macronutrients. What I like about our 8-ounce flip top fertilizers, we do have them for orchids, we have them for cactus, we have an all-purpose. This one is specific for African violets. It has a flip top, and it is a teaspoon per gallon of water.
Oh, wow.
If you don't have a measuring device, it is 7 drops out of the flip top in a quart of water, and then you just water it into the plant.
Oh, perfect. And those will get blooming in no time.
No time at all.
You know, Bonide has a wide range of products, and so even for houseplants. So if you have any questions, please go to Garden Time. We'll click you over to where you can find them, or you can come to Terra Gardens right here in Salem. Thanks so much, Tom.
Thank you.
As you saw in the last segment we did on houseplants, we talked with Tom Combs from Bonide about the great products that they have for our indoor plants. Well, I'm with Tom Combs today, and you have an amazing new program through Bonide. So, Tom, please tell us about it.
Yeah, we're very excited to have launched this, and we're most excited with the end result, potential end result. So it's really simple. So in these difficult times, Bonide is giving back, and we hope everyone will join us in this effort. So from now until May 31st, 2020, Bonide is donating 100% of your Bonide product purchase amount to Feeding America's COVID-19 Response Fund. Now, our ultimate goal, we hope to raise close to $100,000 as a donation to Feeding America.
And so how does it work? What can we do as a consumer in buying a Bonide product?
Well, simply shop any of our participating retailers. That could be online, in-store, or curbside. Upload a copy of your Bonide purchase receipt to bonide.com/helping-hand, and we'll take care of the rest. It's that easy.
That is so easy. And, you know, everybody wants to help do something, kind of pay it forward during this crisis. And if we could help, you know, people across America, plus you have great products that help our gardens so much, it's just like a win-win. Thank you so much to Bonide for doing this. And so for everyone out there at Garden Time, you could just go to our website, gardentime.tv, and the website will be there. And then you would just have to go to your independent garden center, pick out your Bonide products, and then click to the website and do the rest and really help this wonderful cause through the Bonide Corporation. Tom, thanks so much. This is just wonderful.
Yeah, we're excited. You know, spring has sprung. We're all busy out getting vegetable starts and mulch and whatnot for the garden. And, you know, here comes Bonide with a wonderful promotion, and it goes to a great cause nationally.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Portland Nursery, where spring is our favorite time of year. It's the time to prepare your garden for planting. We invite you to get a jump on spring with our huge selection. Let Portland Nursery's staff of professionals help with groceries you can grow. We've got the seeds, veggie starts, and expertise to ensure your success. Visit portlandnursery.com for a list of classes and special events. Portland Nursery, helping make your backyard your favorite destination at 50th and Stark and 90th and Division.
Since 1982, the Wall has been making local gardens beautiful, naturally. Whether you need a new wall, concrete patio, fire pit, or driveway, the Wall's expert craftsmen can build it. We back up our work with a 5-year warranty, so you'll know it'll last. We use the highest quality materials, including stamped colored concrete, natural stone, and we're the leader in using recycled concrete. Create an outdoor environment you'll enjoy for years, with the help of your friends at The Wall.
Create a beautiful living space both inside and out with the help of Terra Casa.
Outside, you'll find pottery, fountains, and decor to make your garden unforgettable.
And inside, there are home furnishings and just the right accents to make your home warm, inviting, and most importantly, comfortable.
Terra Casa has a huge selection of merchandise to fit any home or budget. Plus, we still have all the unique and distinctive gifts that you have come to expect from Terra Casa.
Terra Casa in downtown Damascus.
At Garland Nursery, you'll find
top quality plants,
4 generations of garden know-how,
fun and fantastic garden decor,
and the best in garden supplies.
Come visit us at Garland Nursery.
Since 1937, inspiring beautiful and bountiful gardens.
I'm at Swan Island Dahlias with Nick, and Nick, this is the time to plant dahlias. It's so exciting.
Finally, we have some nice weather. Yeah, it's time to plant.
Okay, so what do we do with the dahlia tubers? It's like I noticed that you guys are planting, and you're not taking a lot of precision to plant those tubers.
Dahlias aren't too picky because the eye will find its way up no matter which way it's up or down. But you can see they come in all shapes and sizes. So if they're really long and thin, We always say to lay the tuber flat, so you don't have the head too high or too low. So usually about 6 inches deep, laying flat. And like I said, the eye will turn around and come up no matter what. If you can see the eye, that's
right
great.
There. Okay.
But if we're laying down, it would turn around and come right back up.
All right. Are you going to show us? Can we dig a hole and we can put one on in here?
Yeah, I'll just get the shovel here and get.
So if we don't have Canby soil, which is so gorgeous, add some compost in?
Yeah, just be careful if the compost is not too high in nitrogen.
Okay.
Steer manure, bag steer manure is really good.
Okay.
We always recommend a little handful of bone meal.
All right.
You know, in the hole, work it in a little bit.
About 4 inches or so down?
Anywhere from 4 to 6.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I was saying, if the tuber lays flat, because we don't want to do this.
Okay.
And we don't want to do that.
All right.
So you just would lay the tuber flat, and then basically cover it back up.
Okay.
You know?
What's the stake for?
This is to tie it to.
Okay.
So if you're going to end up growing a dahlia that's over 3 feet tall, then you're going to want to have a stake to tie it as a support as it goes up.
All right.
Some people use tomato cages. There's all different ways of building racks around them, but the stake works quite well. You can just tie string around as it gets larger.
And I like to put my stake in now because if you do it later, you might go right through the tuber, and that's a bad thing. And I've done that, so it's a really good idea to put it in when you're planting, so you know exactly where that tuber is.
Correct. Yeah, we always do that. If you're planting them individually, put your stake in first.
All right. So Nick, these will even bloom this summer.
Right. Most people are really shocked that a dahlia grows as fast as it does. Most bulbs you put in the fall, the dahlias go in the spring. And so we have dirt fields out here, nothing. And in late July to August, things start blooming, and then they bloom all through fall. So dahlia grows quite fast. So you get a big plant in a hurry.
Yeah, and it's not too late, really. You can go on your website and order and get them really soon and get them in the ground for bloom this season.
Right. We ship through the first week of June, and actually we're starting to plant out here now, and we won't finish planting till the end of May or even the first week of June. And a lot of times the ones that are planted later almost catch up with the early ones because of the temperature of the soil. They come up much faster and catch up. So there's plenty of time. I'm taking lots of orders right now.
Oh, well, great. Well, you can go on to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over to Swan Island Dahlias and get out there and get your dahlias and plant them. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you.
Now, many of us have spring flowering bulbs in our yard, either tulips or daffodils. And as we get towards the end of their bloom season, we're left with kind of these old flowers. A lot of us are wondering what do we do with those? So with these, you can go through and take off the old flower stalks. You can follow this all the way down to the bottom and snip that off and just cut that down. But then we're left with all the foliage. So some people will go through mistakenly and cut all that foliage back now, or they'll go through and kind of tie them up and wrap them up to make them look a little prettier. But we actually don't want to do any of that. We want to leave that foliage all the way up, because what it does is it sucks all the nutrients back out of the foliage to go down and feed the bulb to make a bigger, healthier bulb and more flowering from next year. So after you're all done, you can deadhead, leave the foliage up for about a month or so till it turns yellow and brown on its own, completely wipe it out, and you'll have a healthy and happy bulb for next year. So that's our tip of the week. For other tips and for more information, you go to gardentime.tv.
Hi, today I'm going to be showing you how to cut back your deciduous ornamental grasses. If you haven't done it already, it's really the time to do it because the new foliage is going to be pushing up with all this nice weather. So I really have a great tip for you, and all you need is a bungee cord and a pair of pruners. So first thing is I got my bungee cord and I'm going to secure it around the whole ornamental grass. And I'm going to go kind of low because I want to have the whole grass within the bungee cord, so when I cut it back, it's going to stay all together so it's not flying all over the garden. Okay, so now I have my pruners and I'm just going to cut it at the base here. And I am cutting into some of the green grass coming up, but it's not that much, and it's too time consuming to kind of go in between the brown and the green, so some of it's going to get cut. but it'll still look fine once it's all grown out. I'm using just hand pruners, but if you have an electric head clippers, those would work great, and that would really work great on pampas grass because it is so fibrous. It would be better to have something that's power driven. You will have to rake a little bit around some of the pieces of foliage are on the ground, but it's not as much as if you didn't use this bungee cord. I'm finished cutting back the ornamental grass, and you see I have it in my hands, the bundle in my hands, and the bungee cord's still on. It's a little loose now because it's kind of a thinner bundle, so just be careful on your way to the yard debris or to your compost pile so you don't strew it all over the garden. Well, it's a really great idea to use this bungee cord and make sure you have sharpened tools. So get out there and cut back all your deciduous grasses. It's a beautiful day.
At Sagawa Nursery, we always talk about taking your garden from ordinary to extraordinary. For us, that means bringing you the newest and best plants and unique garden items to you, our customer. For you, that means we'll help you transform your garden into something that's extraordinary. We also have some great gift items and even a few surprises for inside your home, too. Sagawa Nursery, growing beyond the ordinary.
For over 100 years, Collier Arbor Care and Bartlett Tree Experts have provided tree and shrub care services to the Portland metropolitan area.
From large tree and small shrub pruning, tree removal, and stump grinding, we can handle all your tree care needs.
Our arborists diagnose and treat your toughest insect and disease problems.
We also have organic solutions for growing and maintaining healthy gardens, as well as organic nutrition for your trees and shrubs.
Collier and Bartlett, environmentally friendly since 1907.
For 90 years, Espoma has one guiding principle: develop the finest organic gardening products that work in harmony with nature, grow beautiful gardens, and make a greener world for the future. From our soil products to our plant foods, we have always been committed to the environment and sustainability. We use a vast array of natural and organic ingredients and package them in our 100% solar-powered plant. Look for the quality line of Espoma products at your local independent garden center. Espoma, organic from the beginning.
No matter what shade your green thumb is, you can find the plants and the help you need at Wavra Farms. We're filled with an astounding array of colorful plants to fill your garden. In addition to wonderful annuals and perennials, we are known for our hanging baskets. We also have all your garden essentials, and we have great garden gifts too. From beginner to expert, you'll find something new and different with every visit. Wavra Farms, located off Highway 22, Exit 5, east of Salem.
I'm out here today with Jennifer from Oregon Coast Wasabi. And looking at this, I had no idea you could actually grow wasabi. You think of it in restaurants, but you didn't even know where it comes from. So it looks like we have quite the spread out here. So what are we looking at out here?
So yeah, most people have actually never seen wasabi plants. So we're looking at plants sort of in various stages here. We actually have bare root plants that we can ship all over the country. Okay. We also then, at plant shows especially, have these 4-inch pots. So these guys are the bare root plants. Okay. Obviously 4-inch pots. And then in front there we have some small rhizomes. And the rhizome, it's a little bit of a misnomer. It's actually almost like the stalk of the plant. So with these guys here, with these bare root plants, the rhizome is actually this part. So obviously it grows like this, and the rhizome grows up almost like...
That's the part that you're eating. Right?
Yeah, yeah. This is the part that gets grated for sushi. This is the part that people think of. This is like the traditional part of the wasabi plant. But the plants are, the whole plant's edible.
Oh, really?
Yep. And it's a brassica, so it's actually related to horseradish, but it's completely different in terms of its sort of how it grows. We get this question a lot. Is it like horseradish? Is it going to take over my yard? Right. And I tell people, no, it would take 100 years for it to take over your yard because it grows really slowly. And also, it grows with offshoots clumped around the center plant.
Okay.
So it doesn't actually send out runners or anything. So it's not, there's no worry about it.
So this would be
taking
how
over.
it would, if you were to make a new plant, this would be the new start coming in.
Exactly.
Down in there.
Yep, to make a new plant, you just break that off and transplant it.
And then these are a perennial. They come back year after year?
Yeah, it's a perennial. It's a really cool plant. So it's a shade plant for one thing.
Okay.
So that place in your garden where, it's maybe a little bit moist and not a lot of things
Okay.
like to grow, you can grow wasabi there. And it's actually really much more cold tolerant than we thought that it was. Yeah, so in the Portland metro area, it actually does great outside. So we have it growing outside in our yard here in some wine barrels underneath the maple trees. So it gets filtered sun.
Okay.
And we haven't actually ever had to cover them. We've intentionally left them alone. So even recently, as we've had some really cold nights below freezing, they've been actually totally fine. So it's a perennial. It'll, and one of the coolest things is it produces these edible leaves year round. So kind of like kale, you can have edible greens in your garden year round. Yeah, and if you break them off, it'll just keep producing new leaves. And it doesn't affect the plant itself. It doesn't affect the development of the rhizomes. And one of my favorite parts of the plant, actually my favorite part of the plant, is the leaf stem. It has amazing flavor. The juice in there, is like this balance of sweet.
So would
and
you
hot.
mix it in with something or eat it straight? Or?
Yeah, we like to mix it in. Actually, so right now, the Doug Fir is using it in their Bloody Marys.
Oh, really?
So there's
very cool.
so there's a wasabi Bloody Mary. So in cocktails, in dressings, mixed in with like iced tea or lemonade. We've also had people use it as a base for sorbet, so mixed with some coconut.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So the leaf is great fresh or cooked. Anything you do with like kale or spinach, you can do with a wasabi leaf. So raw and
so you could use either the leaf like that, or you have
the rhizome.
The rhizomes that are already cut and ready to go.
Yeah.
So if you're using the rhizome and you've divided out and created your new little plant offshoot and you've harvested your rhizome, how do you prepare or use
so
the rhizome?
the rhizomes, it's really easy. I have two graters here just to show people. So the grater that you use for wasabi has to have really tiny teeth on it. Okay. So even if you want the paste, even a microplane isn't fine enough. So you need to, you don't need to buy it from us, but you can buy it somewhere. It just needs to have, they get sold as ginger graters. So if you have something that's a ginger grater, it'll work for wasabi too. And so the rhizomes, and this is just a traditional trim on the rhizome. We usually leave the top on because it makes a nice handle. And then you just grate it on the...
And it's just left with the paste down.
Yep, and it just forms into the paste.
And it's probably one of those, a little goes a long way.
Yeah, a little does go a long way. So you can kind of see here what the paste looks like.
And then you would just eat that.
Yeah,
just like that.
And the so wasabi is the heat in wasabi is water-based as opposed to a chili oil, which is oil-based, which is the reason why when you eat it you get that flush and then it goes away. And so what's happening is when you grate it, you're actually opening up the cells and creating a chemical process, and it's the same chemical as in mustard.
Okay.
So grate it, wait just a couple minutes, and it'll really fully develop the flavor. And then the flavor will last like really strong for about 30 minutes. And then it'll start to drop off again. So that's why we tell people you only want to grate about as much as you're going to eat in a meal.
The flavor goes
Yep.
So if people were looking for the plants, or where can they go and find these?
Yeah, well, plant sales, Garden Palooza, and also we ship direct. So people can go to our website, which is the Wasabi store. Online, our basically our virtual store is the Wasabi store, and we sell the bare root. We also sell rhizomes, and we have a new product that we released this year, which is our wasabi seasoning salt. And so this has freeze-dried wasabi in it. It's a salt and a rub. So we we had a lot of people tell us this is really good on barbecue. We had people using it as a rub on, ribs and things, and so we have that available.
So very
too.
cool. So you have all the products that they can get, and you can purchase them online, or if you can go to gardentime.tv and we'll transfer you over and you can find out all about the wasabi. So I appreciate you taking the time to teach me all about wasabi.
Absolutely, happy to.
Find everything you need for spring at Al's Garden and Home.
Many people looking for healthcare alternatives have experienced the benefits of CBD oils and creams. But how do you know you're getting the highest quality products? Trust Red Barn Hemp. We sustainably grow the hemp on our farm in the Willamette Valley, then extract the oil in our industry-leading on-site lab. All plants, oil, and final product are tested along the way, so you can be assured you're getting the highest quality CBD products available. Have questions? Stop by our retail store or check out our website. Red Barn Hemp. For family, for life.
Dram is celebrating 75 years of design and manufacturing of quality watering tools. Dram products feature 9 water patterns and are designed to nurture your plants with a shower of rain. Dram for lawn and garden, available at garden centers near you.
Come to where the color is. Come to Egan Gardens. We've worked hard growing healthy plants for you so that your gardening is easy. Add sparkle to your garden with our perennials, container plants, and skillfully designed baskets and planters.
Stop and get a mood lifter out here on the farm. We have lots of fresh air and lots of space. There's lots of blooming plants, new vegetable starts, shrubs, and berry bushes.
Egan Gardens, where it's all about the plants. We're located west of I-5 at exit 263 on River Road.
Look around your home's exterior. Those ugly orange, green, and black algae stains look terrible. Clean them the easy way with 30 Seconds Outdoor Cleaner. It's fast and works on all outdoor surfaces. With 30 seconds, it's clean when you want it clean.
I'm at Garland Nursery in Corvallis, and I am with Carla. And Carla, you work for a great company with a rich history, Espoma. So tell us, you've been in business a long time.
I have, and our company has been in business for 90 years. So this is our 90th anniversary this year. So it's pretty exciting for us.
It is, and so it's the time to get our vegetables in. And so you have some products that will really help us be more successful, those plants to get a great start.
Yeah, for sure. We're a little later here in the Pacific Northwest. Our soil's starting to warm up. So what we have here is Biotone Starter Plus. I call it magic in a bag. It's a three-fer product. It's got biological soil microbes in it. It's got mycorrhiza, and it's also got a 433 fertilizer. This is what you want to put in your planting hole. Okay. It's when you want to plant it's going to attach itself to the roots. It's going to help it take up water and nutrients and provide your plant with the best start for the season.
We hear about that mycorrhizae all the time. So really, you don't top dress with this. You want to get it into the planting hole.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people don't realize that mycorrhiza dies in UV.
Oh.
So it needs to touch the roots of the plant. You're going to get your best, biggest root system when that product is able to touch the roots, and then again help with the exchange of nutrients. Water and nutrients is really what this is going to help that plant get big, strong, and produce a lot of fruit and vegetables.
And then about how long will that be active? Will the plant be able to pick it up?
Well, the mycorrhiza attaches itself for the life of the plant.
Oh, okay.
And then again, you're adding beneficial microbes to the soil again that are helping decompose, the stuff in the soil, and again turn that into a food source for other microbes and the plant. So really what you want to do is start feeding about every 3 to 4 weeks after that with what we consider a maintenance tone.
Okay.
So
that's in the green bag.
So we have this, which is Garden Tone.
All right.
It's a fantastic product. We also spray that with the beneficial soil microbes that is in there, the bacteria, and that's going to again maintain the plant. You can top dress with that, and then you're able just to kind of sprinkle it in. rake it in if you want, but it's granulated, so you just water around, and again, that'll feed through the season. So again, 3 to 4 weeks through the entire growing season, and that'll get you lots of veggies.
And you can also use that on other plants too that are established in your garden.
Absolutely, yes. It's a great one. It's got added calcium in it. Again, that helps with blossom end rot.
Oh, for tomatoes, yes.
Tomatoes, squash, eggplant, any of your zucchinis, pumpkins, gourds, all that stuff that flowers, that's going to help take that blossom end rot and really help with it and get you through the season.
Excellent. And you know what I like is that you can reseal these packages. There's like a little Ziploc there, and really you can use it. It stays in your garden shed or in your area so that you can use it again when you need it.
Yeah, absolutely. And a little bit goes a long way. Again, put it down in next to the roots when you're putting in your garden, and you're going to have the best crop you've ever seen.
Well, you've heard it from Carla here. So if you have any other questions, you can go to Garden Time, and we'll click you over to the Espoma website. There's so much information there, other products that they have for all the plants in your garden. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Color, color, color. When you think of your garden, think of color. Then think of Margie's Farm and Garden. High quality plants and great customer service are our trademark.
Bring home some beautiful plants or vegetables to brighten your spring. Walk our wide aisles in safety or use our pickup service.
Vegetables or herbs, hanging baskets or perennials, trust Margie's Farm and Garden, just off I-5 near Aurora.
Since 1926, the Bonide Company has worked with homeowners to make their homes and gardens beautiful. If you have a garden problem, Bonide has the answer. Captain Jack's Dead Bug Brew controls most common garden insects and is derived from a naturally occurring bacteria to help with your organic gardening. It's safe to use even on fruits and vegetables. Visit Bonide.com to find a local retailer and to download your free Bonide Problem Solver app for your iPhone or Droid.
Since 1987, French Prairie Gardens has brought you the best in farm fresh produce, beautiful plants, and memorable family events. Spring is here, and now is the time to get your garden ready with our wide selection of bedding plants and hanging baskets. Experience the best the country has to offer at French Prairie Gardens.
Well, this is the time of year where we're spending more time in the outdoors, and I'm with James Collier from 30 Seconds Cleaner, who's going to tell us a little bit about his product. Now, James, the 30 Seconds Cleaner has been around a while, so what's some of the history about your product?
Well, we've been a family business here locally in Oregon in the Great Pacific Northwest since 1977. So we've got a little bit of history behind us here, and certainly our products available locally just about everywhere at all your local garden centers, home centers, and hardware stores. And a family-owned business, family-run, and we're still operating today.
Yeah, 'cause I've used it myself at home, and I'm getting ready to use it again. And it's, for viewers that are not quite familiar with the product, what exactly is it, or what can you do with it?
Well, you're cleaning algae, mold, and mildew, and those stains caused by slimy green and grimy dirt that you have growing around your sidewalks and planters and decks and steps, and it's slippery over the winter. This product you mix in a tank sprayer, saturate the surface, follow the label directions, let it sit a wee while, brush with the grain if necessary, and then just rinse it off with the garden hose, and away you go. You have a nice, clean, instant result, reclaiming those surfaces outdoors.
And now is a good time of year to be applying this, right?
Fabulous time, yeah. You want to do it when the surface is dry. That is one key thing to note, is you don't want to be putting it on a wet surface, for example, because it's water off a duck's back. It doesn't penetrate the wood, for example, or concrete. So you'll be wasting it in that sense. So you got to wait till it's a nice dry day and the surface is dry, saturate it with the product, let it do its magic, and then rinse it off with a hose.
And then you said, it's safe to use around your plants that are around you.
Yeah, so if you're doing your lawn furniture or anything like that, you can put it out on the lawn, do your magic, and then just rinse it off. And then if you get it on delicate plants or something like that, just give it a rinse with a hose beforehand or afterwards, because you don't want to leave residual soap or whatever you're rinsing off your deck or, or fences onto your plants, because that doesn't look too pretty too. You might not impress your neighbors, but certainly, it's safe to use around your plants and landscaping and lawns.
Right. Now, with, so many people staying home now and spending so much more, time in your yards and out cleaning, how does this, the whole virus and staying at home affected your guys' business?
Actually, we are, considered essential business, and we're kind of, blessed to be that and to do our part in giving people an opportunity to do something around their home. And I think there is that gratification of you feeling, busy hands keeps folks' minds off, the situation we faced with, which is not a pleasant one. And certainly, getting all those chores done, that, once this comes to pass, and, I'm quite confident it will come to pass, that, they'll have, all that work done outdoors, and they can actually get out there and go places, hikes and restaurants and all those fun things we love to do. So you can get all those chores done now while you can, because, once this comes to pass, you're going to wish you had.
All right. So, in this, in spite of all these challenges, you've actually, you guys have come up with something new.
Yes, actually, that's been in the pipeline for some time. We got approached by a national retailer to produce our indoor cleaner that we do on the international market. It's a product powered with bleach, and it's for cleaning hard surfaces indoors. Timely enough, for the situation we're faced with now, with cleaning hard surfaces indoors. It's been released here, and it's available locally. Actually, it's available at all Lowe's stores right now as if you buy the gallon outdoor cleaner, you get the 1 quart indoor cleaner free.
Nice.
So you've got to look out for that. It's also available at places like Park Rose Hardware locally here in Park Rose or in Portland. So there's a couple of places you can get it. Miller Paint, I believe they're open, I'm not sure, but Miller Paint also carries it, also another local Northwest business.
Right. So, we appreciate you being with us today and, educating us on the, the 30-second cleaner. For more information, I'm sure you can go to your website or check out your Facebook page to find the stores and the retailers that are open and carrying your product, or you can go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over. So, James, I appreciate you being with us, and we look forward to being out in the garden with our 30 seconds cleaner.
Thanks, Ron. I much appreciate it.
Come to where the color is. Come to Egan Gardens. We've worked hard growing healthy plants for you so that your gardening is easy. Add sparkle to your garden with our perennials, container plants, and skillfully designed baskets and planters.
Stop and get a mood lifter out here on the farm. We have lots of fresh air and lots of space. There's lots of blooming plants, new vegetable starts, shrubs, and berry bushes.
Egan Gardens, where it's all about the plants. We're located west of I-5 at exit 263 on River Road.
Mother's Day is coming, and Garden Gallery Ironworks can help. Bring some color to her life with a wonderful Dean Krauser artwork. Pick from an assortment of items, including cups, plates, bird feeders, and wall art. You can get gift wrapping on request and even a hands-free pickup. Our store is closed, but you can check out our website or Facebook page for available items, and then call or email to place an order. Garden Gallery Ironworks in Hubbard.
Hey everybody, I'm Brian Bauman from Bauman's Farm and Garden, and I just went to check the hanging baskets out at my mom's house. I wanted to take a second to give you some tips and tricks to make sure that your hanging baskets stay watered and fertilized throughout the entire summer. To start with, every hanging basket from Bauman Farms, we give you a water-soluble fertilizer that comes with your basket. At the farm, we fertilize our baskets 3 to 5 times a week. And I understand, I don't have time to fertilize my mom's hanging baskets 3 to 5 times a week. One of the tricks is to take a time-release fertilizer. Now I get it, this is not a fancy looking bag, but what we did is we have a specific blend of time-release fertilizer that we like to use that we've bagged up and put just for you. So we're gonna take about 2 tablespoons of this and put it in the top of the hanging baskets. So we want to take that fertilizer, the time release, and put it just on top of the soil. So that way, every time we water the basket, it's going to give a little bit of fertilizer into it. But that's not enough. So what we need to do is take some of this water-soluble fertilizer. We're going to put 1 teaspoon of this into a gallon of water and then water our hanging baskets. Now that we've got our fertilizer all mixed up, people always ask me, how much water do I put in the hanging basket? And the answer is, we're going to fill it up until it starts coming out the bottom. Well, that one took almost a full gallon of fertilizer to water that hanging basket. And to answer the question, how much water do you give? You keep going till it starts coming out the bottom. And that may go up or go down depending on the weather outside and how big your hanging basket is. But keep going until that water comes out all the way out the bottom. Remember to fertilize your hanging basket a couple times a week. I try and water mine every morning to stay in the routine. For more helpful information, go to www.baumanfarms.com.
I am here with Don Sprague, who we affectionately call the Mole Man. Now let me tell you right up front, this is going to be a story about how to rid your yard of moles. So it's not a deterrent story, so we just want to warn you up front that we're going to tell you how to really just completely rid your yard of these things. And what's the first step in doing that?
The first step William, is to find out what you got and make sure you got moles or you got gophers.
And how do you tell that difference?
The mole will have a perfect little mound, kind of like this one, and the gophers are a little more scattered out, and so they'll be a little lower profile.
Okay.
And there'll be more of them. The mole hills, you'll just have a few mounds here, maybe up to 10 or 15 in your yard, but that don't mean that you got 15 moles. That just means you got one.
Okay.
And he's just active.
So it'll look like you might have a huge family of them, but really probably just about 1 or 2 per yard is all you're going to get.
And so what you want to do is pick out a mound of dirt. It's kind of like that one right here. And then and I just moved this one away from here. And so we'll just dig down. And if you just kind of dig around the outside circle of that, that's about how big you're going to have to dig the hole.
Okay. And so, you've already, I see that it looks like you've already done that.
Yeah, I just marked this one here with a shovel. So you want me to go ahead and take it out?
Let's see what you got there.
Okay. So basically, you just take and lift this piece of dirt right out of here.
Oh.
And set it aside, see, and then that way...
I see the tunnel.
Ah, right there you go. You know, and then I'm going to recommend that you wear gloves when you're working with the mole traps so that you don't cut your hand or...
Because they are made out of metal.
They are made out of metal, and they got sharp edges on them. And then take something like this little weed eater right here. It's a little simple tool, and you can just get down in here and see, and this tunnel is right here.
Oh, wow. Yep.
Yeah, and then the other one is right there. So, and that'll go to that mound over there. And this one goes to a mound back over there.
And they're not necessarily always going to be straightly in front of each other. They can be at angles too, right?
Right. Yeah, they could come in this way or they could come in here.
Okay.
Sometimes they're straight across. But however you find them, you just want to make sure they're nice and clean. And then you just take your trap, the cinch trap, of course, made for over 100 years, made in USA. We're kind of proud of that. So this is a trap here. And it's available at most farm and garden stores. So what we want to do is set this, and the traps all come with instructions. So this part here comes across, and then these little levers come down. So you just set the trap.
And you're making it look really easy.
Oh, it is really easy. And just like that, and now see, that's a set trap, and hold it by the back. Always hold it by the back, because see, no matter what happens here, that's kind of your safety on the trap.
Yeah, because if that flips over and your thumb's up there, it's
so, and that's why we like to encourage you to wear gloves, because if you hold a trap here and this comes across, it's going to hurt your hand. And it won't break your hand or anything, but it will hurt.
But you'll definitely know you've been trapped.
You've been trapped. So just take the trap like that, and then holding it from the back side, and you just push it into the hole.
Okay, that's pretty easy.
And then pull it back a couple times, make sure it's nice and clean. And then we like to put a little dirt underneath the bottom of it just to elevate the back. So basically, when you're looking at your trap, you know, instead of sitting like this, the back will be elevated just ever so slightly.
Okay.
And it makes it easier for the mole to go through the jaws and bump the trigger. So
and that's really all they have to do, isn't it?
That's all they have to do. And then leave everything open. And then the other trap, you just put it in the other direction the same way.
Now, when you say leave everything open, you don't want to cover this. You don't put the soil in. Leave the hole like it is.
Just leave it totally open. Now, if you have a problem with dogs or cats or kids, and you want to put something over the top of it, you're welcome to do that. Just don't cut off the air.
Because that's how they know that it's an active hole, is they still get that oxygen going through there.
See, he'll come back into this system, and he'll feel this air movement that we've created here, and he'll come right to that opening.
Curiosity killed the mole, maybe.
That's it.
So if people want to find out more about this, where can they find out where the traps are sold at?
You can call our 800 number, which I'm sure you will put on the screen, and then and it's at most farm and garden stores.
Okay.
And
Wonderful.
garden centers.
Great. Well, now listen, if you have a problem with moles, and if you live in this area, you probably do, this is a great way to get rid of them, and it really will save you a lot of heartache seeing those little mountains that pop up. It's always a pleasure, Don. Thank you so much.
You bet. Happy trapping.
As we all know, many of the local flower festivals have been canceled because of the COVID-19 crisis. One of those festivals is the open gardens at the Hulda Klager Lilac Days.
And even though you can't go see the gardens themselves, we thought we'd go into our archives and put together some scenes from past visits to the garden. Enjoy. Thanks for watching the show today. Even though we're not getting out as much as we used to, we have been able to visit our local garden centers, and we hope you do too.
And for more information about today's show or any of our past shows, please go to gardentime.tv. Ryan and I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week here on Garden Time.
The proceeding was a paid program of the Gustin Creative Group and its sponsors.